Caitlin Clark.
Mm-hmm.
And
I'm a fan.
Angel Reese, right?
Yeah.
They're going back and
I'm
forth.
a fan of both.
And Jamil Hill says by the time Angel Reese is done, she's going to be the Michael Jordan of WNBA.
She said about Angel Reese?
She said Angel Reese, by the time she retires, can you pull up this quote? She said, by the time she retires, she will be the MJ.
Stephen A. Smith slammed the brakes hard on Angel Reese's ego like it was some over-the-top reality show drama right after she pulled off a stunt straight out of Caitlin Clark's playbook that had the whole internet yelling, "No way, she just did that." Think the basketball drama only happens on the court? Think again. Stephen A. just turned up the heat with a fiery take that's burning through the airwaves, and trust me, Angel Reese might want some aloe for this burn. Curious what went down? Brace yourself. This chaos is next level. Let's get into it.
It's not about black and white. It's about that white player and that black player. Why? Because of the history that they had before they came to the WNBA. You see, it was all instigated. If Angel Reese was never in Caitlin Clark's face, taunting her the way that she did when they mimicking what Caitlin Clark was doing to numerous opponents en route to the Final Four, and then Angel Reese and LSU bust their living you-know-what at that particular moment in time, and Angel Reese was in her face chirping at her the way that she did, it would have never gotten to this point.
We have a lot of folks that have come to the defense of numerous WNBA players because they were pointing out, like, this has been going on before long and people are not hating on her. It's not about hating on her. It's that you feel she is getting a level of attention that you deserved and you warranted long before she ever came along.
4 points. That's all Angel Reese managed to put on the board. Yep, just 4. Like she was on some strict scoring diet and Caitlin Clark's absence magically drained all her offensive energy. We're talking about the Sky versus Fever game here, where, to be clear, Caitlin wasn't even playing. She was sitting on the bench, wrapped up like a mummy, sipping Gatorade and watching the action like a proud suburban soccer mom. And yet, Angel Reese still couldn't take advantage.
Season tipped off this weekend with several marquee matchups on the slate. Most fans were excited to see Caitlin Clark and Indiana Fever take on Angel Reese and the Chicago Sky. The game was a blowout as the Fever beat down Chicago 93-58, with Clark's triple-double leading the way. But the biggest headline coming out of the game on Saturday is the investigation the WNBA is conducting into allegations of hateful fan comments directed at Angel Reese. It happened after this play when Clark slapped at the ball after Reese grabbed an offensive rebound.
How do you step into a game where the star player is literally icing her ankle on the sidelines and then decide, yep, I'm gonna have the worst performance of my career today? If that was Angel Reese's way of making a statement that she's the complete opposite of Caitlin Clark, well, mission accomplished. While Caitlin was busy recovering, Angel was out there posting numbers so low they deserved a sad trombone soundtrack. 4 points. That's not a stat line. That's a desperate plea for help.
Because I was calling it from day one. You got people that are resentful towards her. But it's really not about her, guys. It's about what she represents. Before she ever came along, there were a lot of outstanding basketball players who happened to be black females that was doing their thing on the WNBA level. And they never got this kind of shine.
Yeah, she hauled in her usual 12 rebounds, like she's got a serious addiction to those boards. You'd think every rebound came with a free Chick-fil-A coupon the way she snatches them like her life depends on it. And honestly, after this mess of a game, maybe it does. If rebounds were gold bars, Angel Reese would be sitting on a fortune. But when it comes to scoring, actually putting points on the board, it's like she thinks that's beneath her, like she's doing the game a favor by not hitting double digits.
Your thoughts?
Well, first of all, it's not a rivalry. Not when you lose about 35 points.
That's true.
It's not rivalry. Indiana Fever's on a different level than the Chicago Sky. Let's get that out the way. Secondly, as much as we love Angel Reese because she is special, she's not Caitlin Clark as a player. Caitlin Clark is on a different level. We just have to own that. Angel Reese can rebound the basketball. She's a damn good player. She's got a bright future in the WNBA, but Caitlin Clark is next level.
You know, things are rough when even the commentators are scrambling to find a silver lining, saying stuff like, well, she's helping out in other ways. Other ways? Like what? Boosting morale, because she looked like she was doing cardio drills for 40 minutes straight. At one point, the camera caught her zoning out, like she was thinking about a career in reality TV. Maybe The Real Stat Patterns of Chicago is the next big streaming hit. Let's be real. Angel Reese used to step on the court with all the confidence. The lashes sharp, nails flawless, and that untouchable attitude. But now, her stat line is screaming, wait, there was a game today? Her entire performance felt like she peaked back in college. This isn't the season she promised. This isn't the Bayou Barbie takeover tour. No, this is more like the Desperate Housewives of the WNBA, and Angel's holding an empty wine glass. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark is getting targeted like she owes the league money, and even with all that pressure, double teams, limited looks, she's still finding ways to make plays, dishing out assists, and draining threes like she's Steph Curry's lost cousin.
Elaborate a little bit more on that in just a second, but before I do that, I want to ask you your thoughts about apparently some racial animus that was thrown in the direction of Angel Reese. The Chicago Sky have gotten involved, talking about they're going to protect their players at all costs. The Wnba has issued a statement saying it abhors and discourages hate of any kind, etc., etc. Your thoughts about it? Here's the WNBA statement. The WNBA strongly condemns racism, hate, and discrimination in all forms. They have no place in our league or in society. We are aware of the allegations and are looking into the matter. Your thoughts about that element of all of this, where you believe it emanates from, and do you think it will ever subside?
Oh man, the latter part of that, Stephen A, is quite the thing to think on. I think when you go back to the impetus of the rivalry that we have between Caitlin and Angel Reese, I remember funny clips on the internet.
Angel had everything, the stage, the spotlight, the mic, even the backup dancers, and still managed to forget her lines. And that 12 rebound highlight, yeah, we need to face the truth. Not all rebounds are equal. Angel's out there grabbing boards like the ball personally offended her mom. Stat padding has basically become her full-time gig. She's boxing out like she's training for a CrossFit commercial, only to turn around and launch shots that look more like abstract art than actual attempts to score. At this point, she's just hoarding rebounds like they're Pokemon cards. Gotta catch them all, but never really doing anything with them. And now, the whispers have started. You know, those dreaded sports rumors about being benched, dropped, or forgotten. The WNBA isn't high school. You don't get a gold star just for showing up. If you're not scoring, you're sitting. Right now, Angel Reese's biggest contribution might be her courtside fashion game. If her minutes get cut, she might want to start consulting the wardrobe department instead of the coaches. This was supposed to be her breakout season, the time to silence all the doubters and prove she's more than just attitude without altitude. Instead, she's shaping up to be the player version of a viral TikTok trend that fizzled out after 2 weeks. Remember the milk crate challenge? That's Angel's career in a nutshell. Started strong, took one shaky step, and now we're watching the slow motion collapse.
Caitlin Clark's or Angel Reese's popularity in large part is attributed to her behavior towards Caitlin Clark, because when Caitlin Clark was busy taunting opponents a couple of years back before LSU smacked Iowa around in the national championship game or so, it was Angel Reese that was clapping back at Caitlin Clark once it was Caitlin Clark's turn to have her comeuppance. And that's what made Angel Reese famous. Now, Angel Reese experienced vitriol thereafter. It was tough for her to deal with, as she articulated, and that's unfortunate because we got some no good ass people.
Don't get it twisted. People wanted Angel Reese to shine. She's a walking headline, a quote machine, the drama, the rivalry, the face of the WNBA gold. But all that glitter means nothing if you can't score. 4 points? That's not gonna cut it, unless this is some avant-garde performance art about minimalism in professional sports. And now the fans are catching on. Twitter blew up like it was draft night. 4 points? Is she okay? Rebounding queen, but an offensive ghost. It's getting ugly out there. Even the die-hard Angel Reese fans are writing think pieces wondering if it's time to admit she's struggling. Yeah, Karen, she's struggling, like a Roomba stuck in a shag carpet. What makes it even worse? The contrast. Caitlin Clark's very presence exposes every gap in Angel's game, like shining a bright spotlight on your typos. Even sidelined with an injury, Caitlin remains the center of attention, while Angel fully healthy with a clear path, somehow manages to trip over her own potential. Now the rumors are swirling, those whispers that float around locker rooms like desperation in the air. Will she be benched, rested for development? That's front office speak for, we have no clue what to do with her, but we're not ready to admit it. Nobody signed up for a full-time rebound hoarder who acts like she's allergic to scoring.
This is only women that get this. I'm tired of it. Like, here's my thing, you guys. What else? Who are these girls? Who are these girls that are hating on Caitlin Clark? Are you just combing through Twitter? What else are these women supposed to do? Fawn over her? Fangirl over her? Bend the fucking knee? Kiss the ring? Like, what do you want from them? We cannot, every time the girl plays a game, she got 40 games, guys. She got 35 more games. We are not every single game gonna revisit and retread this same tired ass rhetoric that all these girls are hating on her, and they need to be thankful. They have been.
They want a presence, a leader who shows up and dominates, not someone whose stat line looks like a near-miss lottery ticket. If this is Angel Reese's worst start to a season, it's more than just a slump, it's a full-blown alarm bell. And the WNBA doesn't hand out charity minutes. You can't coast on college highlights or LSU fame here. Once you stop delivering, the bench becomes your new home, complete with flawless lashes and a motivational Instagram bio preaching hustle and grind. How about some points instead? You can bet Stephen A. Smith saw that box score, adjusted his glasses with a heavy sigh, and yelled, 4 points, 4 points. Somewhere he's already crafting the monologue. Listen, young lady, this isn't Baton Rouge anymore. He's not wrong. Angel Reese needs to find her groove fast before her stat sheet ends up looking like a post-it note. Nobody's expecting her to drop 40 every night, but how about hitting double digits? Maybe toss in an assist or two, show some offensive spark. Right now, watching her is like trying to microwave a steak, confusing and frustrating. The pressure isn't letting up. Every game, every minute on the court is a test. She's no longer just playing basketball, she's fighting for her spot in the league. This isn't the NCAA, where the crowd chants your name and every rebound gets a highlight reel. This is the WNBA, and if your production doesn't match your hype, they'll bench you mid-game without a second thought.
Jules comes along, and she wreaks havoc. She's the Rookie of the Year. She's 4th in the league in MVP voting. 4th in the league, her rookie year.
Wow.
Outstanding. She's like Steph Curry. She can pull up from anywhere. You understand? She has that kind of capability. Then won a national championship. Lost to LSU one year. We lost to South Carolina another year. But she's outstanding and clearly worthy of being the number 1 overall pick. And what I was saying to everybody is ride the wave. Rising tide lifts all boats.
Angel Reese is at a crossroads. She's got 2 choices. Either step up on the boards, both literally and figuratively, or become the cautionary story ESPN turns into a 30 for 30 special titled What If Angel Never Scored, complete with somber piano and slow-mo shots of missed layups. The clock is ticking, the stage is set, but the spotlight is starting to fade. If Angel doesn't ignite soon, she won't just be benched. She'll disappear from the conversation entirely. Enter Tyler Marsh, the man with the clipboard, headset, and apparently a Rubik's Cube approach to Angel's positioning. He's been rotating her across the floor like a confused game of Twister. Power forward 1 minute, stretch 4 the next, and then, what even is that? It's like he's trying to fix her struggles with an interpretive dance routine. But here's the truth, no amount of tactical shuffle can mask the glaring reality. Angel Reese isn't producing. It's like rearranging deck chairs on the Titanic and wondering why it's still sinking. Tyler Marsh can plant her in the paint, on the perimeter, or even the parking lot. It doesn't matter. If Angel keeps putting up 4-point games and hoarding rebounds like a side hustle, then Houston, or rather Chicago, we have a serious problem.
Well, she balled at Iowa in college. She's balled since she's been in the NBA. She came into the league last year with no break whatsoever between the college game and the pro game and did her thing. Ended up as an all-star, ended up being 4th in the league in MVP voting, was the clear winner for Rookie of the Year. No competition whatsoever in that regard. When it was really all said and done, we know what she brings to the table.
Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark has been sidelined with a legit injury, and yet she's still the WNBA's headline act. Honestly, she could be rolling around in a wheelchair with a full leg brace, shooting hoops, and she'd probably still rack up more points and assists than Angel Reese managed in her last outing. Even on her worst day, Caitlyn shows up and delivers. You could blindfold her and she'd likely drop a triple-double just to prove the doubters wrong. Now picture this. Caitlyn Clark returns from injury, fully rested, fired up, and fueled like a dragon on espresso. The Fever plug her back in, and she's basically a cheat code. Meanwhile, the Sky are stuck in limbo, waiting for Angel Reese to remember what shooting the ball even looks like. Never mind actually making a shot or even attempting one with conviction. It's not subtle anymore. Watching the Sky play, there's this predictable moment when the ball lands in Angel's hands, and the crowd lets out a collective sigh. Not a cheer or gasp, just this defeated "oh no, not again" kind of sigh. Like watching someone repeatedly try to unlock their phone with the wrong fingerprint. It's become a tragic routine, almost performance art, and when your coach starts switching up your role mid-season like a game of musical chairs, just hoping something sticks, that's a huge red flag. That's not a development plan, that's coaching roulette. It means they don't trust you to handle the fundamentals, so instead they're crossing their fingers that by moving you around enough, you might accidentally stumble into success.
Actually feel bad for Angel Reese at this point, and it has nothing to do with like how she's handled herself or anything. It's just simply Caitlin Clark is so much better than Angel Reese at basketball that it doesn't feel fair.
Yeah, I think Angel Reese is struggling with the fact that Caitlin Clark is better at her best thing than she is.
But she's better at everything.
And
did a triple-double. She's tied for the third most triple-doubles in WNBA history, and she's played 50 games.
Yeah.
Let's be honest, Angel Reese is falling short. She's not adapting, not growing, and not making an impact beyond the box score. She's simply underperforming, and with every minute she logs on the court while Caitlin Clark recovers, the gap between them only widens. Because when Caitlin comes back, she won't be sliding into average mode. She'll be making an explosive return. She'll remind everyone why her jersey sales are smashing records, while Angel's gear collects dust in some forgotten clearance bin. The WNBA doesn't need Angel to be just a rebound machine with scoring numbers that belong in the toddler league. It wants leaders, players who put points on the board, change the game, and deliver wins. Right now, Angel's bringing attitude, not results. And until the Sky face that giant angel-shaped problem, nothing will change. You can't build a championship team around someone whose most reliable stat is their social media presence. There's only so many "I'm her" tweets you can share before the scoreboard tells a different story. Let's be real, calling her overrated is almost generous. This isn't hate, it's just the facts. The hype train did its job. Angel was the media darling, the NIL queen, the Bayou Barbie. But when the big league lights hit, the shine started to fade. 4 points and a montage of missed layups don't scream future legend. They scream, remember me from college.
Unfortunately, it comes with the crown.
I got to push back on you a little bit.
Okay.
I think you're being a little bit too PC. Let's call it what it is. I am not trying to say that she should be criticized or she is wrong. What I'm saying is by pulling it down, clearly you felt there was something wrong with it. Now, yes, you are 22. Yes, you are young. And there's a lot of things that we didn't want people to know about when we were her age. Fair enough, especially me, okay? Because I'm 30 plus years removed from that age. I got that part. There was no social media then or whatever. But here's my point to you. She knows this social media. She is not dumb. She's quite a brilliant.
The locker room atmosphere has to be tense right now. While teammates are putting in the work and carrying the scoring load, Angel's busy posting pre-game selfies. Leadership can't be faked with Instagram filters. The hardwood doesn't care about follower counts. What matters is showing up and delivering, and Angel just hasn't been doing that. Now picture being a young player on the Sky roster, grinding hard in practice, only to get a couple of minutes in games while Angel racks up 30 minutes of what looks like glorified cardio, snagging 12 rebounds that lead nowhere. That's a serious blow to team morale. Watching someone burn through precious playing time like it's Monopoly cash while you're stuck clapping politely on the bench. It's got to sting. Up in the front office, the Sky Brass must be feeling like they're trapped in a reality show they never signed up for. What if they gambled everything on a player who peaked on TikTok? That kind of mistake haunts general managers at night. And Tyler Marsh? He's probably aging 10 years trying to figure out how to fix this. At some point, you have to cut your losses. You can't keep waiting for potential to arrive like a late Amazon delivery. If Angel Reese doesn't find her footing soon, the Sky will have no choice but to shift their focus to players who actually produce. The league doesn't have time for redemption stories that never deliver.
Robinson of the WNBA will be Caitlin Clark if she stays healthy. There's a group of them that would hope for her to be out. But
why do you say she's going to be the Jackie Robinson of the WNBA?
Well,
it's not like she's the first white girl.
She's not the first white girl, but she's the first white superstar at the levels where she's scoring these, the threes she's shooting. She's like a Steph Curry. She's the first actual superstar that people care. When's the last time we watched like college basketball? If I told you, tell me the greatest college basketball female basketball players last 30 years, and you watch I know her. She's our meet, but you look at some of these names, you see some of these people on how they do.
And let's not forget the fans. They bought into the hype. Angel Reese versus Caitlin Clark, fireworks, rivalry, ratings gold. But what they got instead was Caitlin carrying the league on one injured leg, while Angel's out there sprinting in place, pretending those minutes actually matter. It's like shelling out for VIP seats only to find out the main act forgot the words to every song. If Caitlin returns and starts dropping 20-point games like it's nothing, while Angel's still hoarding rebounds like they're priceless artifacts for her personal museum, the comparison won't just be awkward, it'll be heartbreaking. She'll become Exhibit A for why hype doesn't always translate into hard work and production. Bottom line, the Sky won't improve until this situation gets fixed, and that means facing some tough truths. Maybe it's time to call the Angel Reese experiment what it really is, a bust, until she rediscovers her game, and soon she's on a fast track from overrated to irrelevant.